Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. We're here tonight for some FTF Duels action for their iRacing Grand National Series. It's the first season of iRacing competition in FTF in general. Usually, it's an Enter 2003 league, but they're reaching out and going into new territory this year. As Enter 2003 starts to kind of dwindle away in the community. Figured they, get a secondary series running, as their Cup Series will still be running on Enter 2003. That's on Sundays, but we'll worry about that another time. We're here for Duel 1. On the pole, who's on the pole? Who do we got?
Is it Derek?
I believe it's Derek.
Hate that we don't know that.
Yeah,
Derek
I didn't
Justice
check
on
over
the
the
pole.
lineup.
Big story coming out 2 weeks ago. Obliterated millions of dollars in damage. But back 2 weeks later, checks are cleared, ready to race.
Yeah, we're not sure where he got the money, but we're not going to ask any questions. We're not here to ask questions. We're here to watch a race and give you the information and the deets on what is going on. They're going to have to pace around here one time, and then they'll get everybody lined up and get green from there. Right now, I'm just making sure I have stream up on another monitor so that I can read the chat. At least to some degree. If I don't reply to you, it's, don't take it personally. I'm just, I'm trying to do my job. Some stories for this field. Let's take a look. Kyle Riley in the number 62 Outback Steakhouse Toyota Supra. He's got some equipment issues. His pedals are not working properly. So, as far as I am understanding from about 15 minutes ago, having a conversation with him, he's running on the steering wheel, but using buttons for the gas and brakes. So that'll be interesting to watch, see how Kyle slows down for Rex, if he can. And we'll just see what happens, because he's going to be, I think, mired a little bit back in the pack. I'm not sure if he said he was going to start from the back or not, due to this issue, but we'll see what happens with that. Who else we got? Adam Kodal. He's not, the green flag it just said green flag, but it's not. We got to pace around one more time, just to make that clear. But Adam Kodal, he's not super well versed in iRacing, so he's trying to learn here tonight, and see what he can do. That number 33 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. Special red paint scheme, just like Kevin Harvick had here in the shootout in what, like 2004, I think? And now they're getting lined up. Yeah, Derek Justice is on the pole, and then they're getting everybody else lined up
like Kyle
according to their
is going
qualifying.
towards the front. Won't
Yep,
be
he
starting
is.
from the back.
Wow, look at him.
Look at him pace.
So the Madman will start from the front on buttons for throttle control and brake control.
You got to do what you got to do to make the 500. He has already got new pedals ordered. Should be here Monday. Doesn't really help him on the Enter 2003 side, as I believe all of their they had qualifying tonight for the Cup Series, but the duels are tomorrow. Something's tomorrow.
Oh, Kyle's hitting people under caution now.
Yeah, that's not good. Don't want to get damaged here. We got 40 laps, 100 miles exactly of racing here at Daytona tonight. Who else we got back here? We have Chris Wetz, who until just recently was going to be running an old chassis, and exactly the old Impala B chassis to be exact. But speeding driver Justin Malello was kind enough to offer some chassis to him, and now he's in that nice green and white Ford Mustang for this season in the FTF Grand National Series.
You know who I'm really interested to see to perform tonight on a next level? Gabe Herschel.
That's who I was getting to next. Gabe Herschel. Gabe Herschel right now, DL Performance driver. He's trying his best to make his way through the NASCAR Heat Pro League qualifiers at the current moment. Had to step away from that for the moment to do this iRacing Grand National Series race. Well, duel, I should say. So we'll see how he can do here tonight. He's done a fair share of iRacing. He knows what's up. So, also in the field, have iRacing. What do they call it? Just the Coke series? Like, what do they?
Yeah, it's the
The-
Coke.
the
The
NASCAR
Coca-Cola
Coke.
Series driver, Kane Cook, in the white number 55, even though 55 is Mike Fallon, who's in the booth. Actually, the other 3 people in the booth, besides myself, are actually racers in Duel 2 as we come up through the tri-oval and we get ready to take the green flag here. And it's waving. Green flag is out. Duel number 1
Wow.
is underway.
There they.
They're wrecking.
Look
They're
at them
accelerating.
race.
We'll see how long it takes before they hopefully, calm
Wad it
down,
up.
go a little bit of single file, get some laps under their belt. I'm not sure how they are on fuel. I think they'll have to make a pit stop. Yeah, they'll probably have to make a pit stop here. But let's be honest, there's probably going to be a caution at some point, so that's not really something they have to worry about off the bat here. As they've shuffled Zach Nichols out of line here. They have pretty much almost the whole field single file at the moment. One more car jumps out of line. That's Andrew Hardcastle, longtime racer of FTF, doing his part to participate in the iRacing series. We got side by side in the front.
McAdams on the move on the outside line all alone.
Andrew Schwartz running up front. He's usually a pretty liberal person politically, but conservative in these long SS races. I'm impressed to see him run.
Yeah, you
Very
see Andrew's,
good move there, man.
come out of his shell a little bit on the super speedways. He had to deal with a lot of internet issues early in his career. So he didn't really, he meandered in the back, tried to pick up what he could after people wrecked out, but he's been getting more aggressive. We saw it in the under 2003 side, and we're starting to see it in the iRacing side, as we're 3 wide towards the back of the field right now. We got
At 88 on the move.
here comes the 7 shooting the gap in the middle.
I'm surprised to see a lot of these guys forcing it 3 wide early. I thought that trend of everybody going single file early on was going to follow through. But looks like a lot of guys in the back. Some
One
of the
guy in the
who
wall.
might not- Yeah, so we got one guy in the wall. Some of the guys in the back there who can't necessarily bank on their time. They know they got to make their move up to the front here. And I know the race is 40 laps, but we're on lap 4, already 10% of the way through. Time's going to go by a lot quicker than they think, so expect a lot of guys from the back to be on the move here.
Speaking of making moves, we got Tyler Claybaugh and Adam Cole shoving their way through on the high side right now. Looks like Claybaugh's going to take the lead from Derek Justice on what is technically the 3rd lap of the race, but we're just going to call it lap 4 for simplicity's sake. Now him, Hodel, and McAdams were all clear. McAdams decides not to go down to the bottom line yet. Kyle Riley also making his way up there on the high side. They're starting to, settle down a little bit here, but we'll see how long it is until somebody decides, yeah, I'm going to stick it up the middle or fly up on the high side and try and make some moves.
Yeah, interesting to see some of the common iRacing guys here. A lot of the NR guys like Tyler and Adam run up front here. Interesting to see how they'll mix in with some of the guys who we know have been well experienced here on iRacing, how they'll mix in and where everyone's going to shake out here in the end.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that have raced together for years on the NR 2003 side of things, mixed in with, some guys who have never raced FTF in the first place. And it seems like they're all getting along well. We're on lap 5 of the race, and nothing bad has happened yet, so that's good. Everybody
Huge run by the outside for the...
Oh yeah, holy crap, here comes Derek Justice with a push from Kevin McAdams. Kyle Riley not holding back with his button acceleration.
They got both lines finally working here. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to be the trend going on forward here, having both lines running up front. Again, like I said, a lot of these guys are going to be trying to slice and dice their way through the field, and when they're running 2x2 here, it's a lot easier for guys to start slowly creeping up through the field. Obviously, you're going to have the guys who are going to try and stick back, who might be able to rely on their times a little bit more, and then those guys who know they need to race their way in, they're going to be charging up front here.
Kyle getting a big parachute on top line right now.
A big gap between
I guess you
him
could
and
call that
McAdams.
throttle button his push to pass.
A lot of these guys might be complaining that their foot's going through the floor. Kyle here might have his thumb going through his wheel.
Oh.
It's gonna be interesting to see if he has to switch fingers throughout the race.
He could. I mean, the wear and I mean, honestly, running cars like the LMP1 where you have the boost button is hard enough on the fingers. So having to hold it down the whole time is going to be a completely new monster. As Derek Justice cuts down to the inside lane in front of Claybaugh to secure his lead here. I believe he had it at the line. No, he didn't have it at the line last time by. But the outside lane always gets the run back up on him. So I think coming to the finish here, you're going to want to be on the outside lane, get the run off the corner, and hope and pray that there's somebody behind you to give you a nice push and they don't, ditch you in the tri-oval. As McAdams is just going to swipe the lead away from Derek Justice.
I will just say, though, on top of your point about the high side getting a run there, got to make sure we at least have a surviving field here. By the time we get to the finish, we saw earlier in one of the FTF shootout races, had quite a large accident, probably one of the largest recorded in FTF history. Seemed to be caused when Derek clipped the apron. He was running in the lead on the bottom side, wiped out in front of the entire field. It was a shootout race. A lot of guys weren't going to back down, try and run through it, and it pretty much took out the entire 20-something car field. And one of the FTF admins here, Kyle Rowley, snuck through and took the victory. So if you want to be the one to get some help here on the high line, we're going to actually have a field here by the time they come to take the checker flag.
Yeah, that wreck was almost foreshadowing for the iRacing Coca-Cola Series clash that happened a couple days ago.
Unfortunately, they just outnumbered us, I think, on the field size.
Yeah, and there was a lot of carnage in that one, as well as the FTF test race accident. The 18 car is getting split. He's going to be shuffled out of line here. Alexander Russell is going to fall back a good amount of positions. Probably have to fall in behind the 40 car back there in front of Hardcastle when it's all said and done. But at the same time, Derek Justice and Tyler Claybaugh and everybody on the inside lane have been able to keep their ground here. Derek leads that lap, so it really just depends on how everybody lines up and works together in their specific lanes to keep the momentum going for that lane to see who is going to lead at the line. Or even at the end of the backstretch or what have you. Because right now, Derek has a sizable gap between him and McAdams as they go down the back straightaway. It's helping that Claybaugh is all over his back bumper, shoving him. Not that Riley isn't all over the back bumper of the 26. That's funny, the 26 and the 62 are working together.
I just don't think Kyle has the confidence to push tonight. Being on
Wow,
buttons.
What'd you say there,
They
Mike?
love palindromes.
Oh, yeah,
I said,
palindromes.
wow,
One thing you're going to see here, especially as the race goes on, as we have almost a 3 wide here. That's going to check
big
up
checkup
outside.
on the outside lane.
Big checkup on the outside line. A lot of these guys are starting to get a little curious with their nose here as we see the laps wind down. Patience is going to go down and down, and these guys aren't going to be so willing to back out or not take any opportunities that are given to them. Surprised to see some guys poking it through wide here early on. Big wreck here would definitely be disastrous, especially if it's up front here in the second or third lane. So let's see if everyone can keep it clean here.
You know what I just noticed, but guys? We didn't do no picks. We haven't picked no winners tonight.
That is true. Let me see. Let me take a quick look through the field. I want to pick somebody that's, up in the top 10, 15 right now, but I feel like that's a little too predictable.
Yeah.
I think my pick to win this duel is going to be the 39 car at the back of this lead pack, Arnold Columbia, running that Halmar, what's his name, Stuart Friesen paint scheme with a terrible number font, but that's beside the point. As McAdams gets shoved ahead of Derek Justice as they go through 3 and 4. Riley trying to get lined back up with them to continue the push as they... Oh, their big crash.
Oh, and
going
they
into
cut
the
out.
rail.
Oh, they're wrecking.
Total is around. David Schildhaus is involved. I think somebody just lag switched out.
Oh, no.
Or their game crashed. I'm not sure. Lots of cars involved in this one. Alexander Russell got a piece of it. Oh, the 7. Seth Noel. Oh, he's still getting hit. Gabe comes in there a little bit late. Hits the car that was sliding across the track. Chris Wetz seems to have damage. Jake Poulin has damage.
Your
Cosmin
pick has
Uneshu damage on the rear end. No, Arnold does.
Yeah.
Andrew Schwartz even has some damage on the back end.
See what happened caused that initial here. Oh, up
man.
towards the top 5. Ooh.
That was
trouble for
definitely
the
a big one.
Yeah, so I'm looking back here on the replay. Not sure if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing here, but I think, like I said before, some guys were getting a little overzealous with the pushing here. Just sort of resulted in a chain reaction. I actually scratched that. A little bit of a checkup on the high side.
Yeah, it looks like Kyle went to go check up for McAdams and caused a choo-choo train behind him.
Yeah, Butler took evasive action, trying to just go to the middle to not run over Nate Stewart. And unfortunately, Jarrett Liebert did not get the memo in time and gave Butler a bump that sent him down into Codal and just kind of collected everybody behind him.
Some amazing driving by the 10, who barely just got through that. Wow.
Ray Patton went for a wild ride over a couple cars in the 0-1 car, but landed on all 4 tires and kept the car going straight. That was interesting.
That was incredible. I'll be honest, seeing a car hop over another one like that, but man, you hate to see it for these guys. Huge wreck, especially so early on here. I wanted to get some info in if we were still under green. A competitor, Frank Manash, pointed out to us he got about 30 laps on a tank of fuel. So these guys would have had to pit at some point had the race continued to go green. But obviously with this caution here, these guys can come down pit road, top off on fuel, and they should be good to go here for the rest of the race.
There are a couple cars exiting pit road as we speak. I'm not sure. Did they have a fast repair? Is there a fast repair on the docket tonight?
I don't think so.
That would be a no. No fast repairs.
Big no. 10-4.
The 0-1 got some serious air. Jumped over.
Looks like the
really
merge
just
cone
ramped
has
over some cars.
been hit hard.
A lot of the guys ended up with sort of minimal damage. It will hinder their ability to maybe lead a line or make moves on their own to try and get, a position or two here and there, but a lot of the guys involved, like I said, not a whole lot of damage. There were a couple cars that got pretty heavily damaged. One of those, I believe, was Cosmin Uneshu. I saw him get solid air to the tri-oval in that one.
Yeah, it looks like Cosmin, Sean Butler, Jeffrey McClintock, Jake Poulin, Adam Codal. A lot of those guys took some heavy damage there. I'll give it credit, though. A lot of the guys running behind that wreck, there were some guys who really got their act together and managed to slow down and avoid everything. But there's some times where you're just so close to the wreck when it's happening, there's nothing you can do. So I hate to see it for a lot of these guys. And
my pick, dude. Arnold slowed down for the wreck, had everything set and ready to be avoided, but a car behind him locked the brakes up and kind of tried to... And then decided it was Andrew Burr decided he was going to try and cut down to the inside and cut through the grass and avoid it, but ended up running over Arnold.
Oh, man.
As the leaders, I believe, have taken 1 to green now. Trying to catch back up with the pace car here.
They are double filing up.
Rolling down the back straightaway. Kane Cook does not have a front end. There's another car that doesn't have a front end up there. That's Jeffrey McClintock.
Modified.
And we have some modifieds in the field. Kane's going to retain his position. McClintock falling to the back.
Now we got to keep an eye on who's going to be the fastest modified. Who's going to win out of that battle. Should be interesting.
yeah, we're going to see here a lot of these guys who are damaged here. They're going to unfortunately be broken back and stuck behind the main pack, break away in their own field, and you're just going to have to try and salvage what they can while the rest of the guys who have kept their cars clean or managed to be ahead of the wreck are going to be green. As we're not going green here.
Delayed green, delayed.
And we're going to give these guys one more chance to either come down pit road or catch up with the pack, because that did shuffle everybody up a good amount. So we'll be back, going back green on lap there's some lap cars still up with the field, and that's what has me confused at the moment. Because it's telling me that Kane Cook is 1 lap behind the rest of the field, yet he is lined up 3rd. So I'm not sure what's going on with that part. But Gabe Herschel, who just about snaked his way through that crash until the 7 started sliding up the track and down the track and everywhere in front of him, he's
Still fairly
registered as a lap down also. So I'm confused.
All right, so it looks like Kane was
part.
given an EOL here. Gabe's given an EOL, so I'm assuming it's just a scoring error. They're going to be on the lead lap here. They just got to drop to the tail end.
Adam as well. And Sean Butler.
Tyler Clayball still has a beautiful, clean car.
Yeah, a lot of these guys. Yeah, that's one of the benefits here, being up front. A lot of guys don't like to run up front. They like to lag back and wait until the finish to try and get their chance. But one of the benefits of being up front is if there is a wreck in the middle of the pack and you're running up front, no worries about getting involved in anything. So a lot of the guys who've been up front here and been running up front all day, they still got clean cars. So a lot of these contenders, a lot of these guys who look to be in a good position to win, they got clean cars. They should be good to go here.
We have information from Marcus Ulmer, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, in the stream chat that Derek Justice did not have his fuel checked on that pit stop, guys. So that's not going to be good for him. He's got this lap 17, let's say about 15 laps run under like green using gas, so he's probably only got about 14, 15 laps until he'll have to come down pit road.
Hate to see it.
He was a front runner, so we'll see how that plays out as the pace car pulls in, and the green flag is out, and we're back racing. Kyle Riley gets a terrible restart. Big damage to the back end of the 26 too. Yeah, oh my goodness.
Wow, they're accelerating.
Kyle wasn't.
No gas pedal. Gas button.
The 10 car of Bailey Galinas, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that, I'm not going to lie to you, has some front end damage from that run into 26 on the restart. I don't know how much that's going to affect him. As long as he's tucked in behind another car, he should be all right. My pick, Arnold Columbia.
Clayball making a move.
Is hanging on. Yeah, Clayball goes to the outside by himself.
No help, though.
Caution, yellow
Caution flag is back out.
Now.
There's something going on off turn number 2, guys.
Looks like the L1 is a blown motor.
Looks like it involves the 84 car.
Yes.
Yep, we had Sean Butler gets turned by the 37 car of Austin Hawkins. And Cosman tried to avoid it and ended up in the car spinning back up onto the racetrack, triggering the yellow flag. The 0-1 of Trey Patton was just trying to catch back up to the field. Cosman was trying to get back going, and it just did not work out for either of them as the 0-1 came flying in. Jeez.
That was scary.
Climbed right into him.
Looks like he was just trying to catch up to the field and didn't get word of the caution there. Didn't see Cosman trying to get himself straightened out there after the wreck. And
yeah, he picked the high side and he stuck to it. Bounced it off the wall, boom, right into Cosman.
Unfortunately, that looks like that'll be the end of the 0-1 stay as he's going to pull into his pit stall here with a blown motor.
Dang, man, he kept that car going, and he was still probably going to be all right if he could have, well, if he had restarted with the pack after flying over cars in the tri-oval in the last accident, but that's not good for his day. We'll take a look. I believe Gabe Herschel will be the lucky dog this time. They'll put him back on the lead lap.
Going to be interesting here under the caution here. We saw what happens at the 10 and the 26 on the restart with both of them got damaged. Derek apparently hasn't taken enough fuel here. So we'll see, yes, the 10 and the 26 both come in here. I imagine they're going to try and get some repairs done here. And as we said, if you pitted under the last caution, you should be good on fuel. But I could see a lot of these guys who are pitting in here just trying to get as much damage as they can or taking as much fuel as they can, just trying to play it safe.
Derek Justice electing to stay out.
Yeah, that's what's got me confused. The information from Marcus is correct. Derek Justice does not have enough fuel to go the distance, yet he elects to stay out.
A man of risk. I like.
Going around the field, look at him go. Gab
Do we have
Hirsch
a Lucky
on
Dog
Xbox.
sponsor?
don't believe we have one, but
All right.
maybe eventually we will.
It's a fortunate.
Fortunate cat.
See the 10 car. He most of the front end damage is repaired. He should be all right. Kevin McAdams' rear end looks generally fixed, so they should both be all right after that mishap on the last restart.
Yeah, that just seems
Cosman
to
in
be.
pits still.
Yeah, that seems to just have been one of the unfortunate consequences of Kyle's situation, where his equipment isn't working right. So, I would imagine got to be real careful here on the restarts. He might have just missed it, or he might just not be used to what's going on. But he can't afford to stack up the field like that again. I can't imagine that'll go well over well with everybody else if he ends up stacking up another whole line and causing more guys to get some damage.
True.
Won't be making any friends out here for that. That's for sure.
He told us before the race here he was just trying to survive. He knew his situation, but when you're running up front like this, it's hard not to try and stay up there and salvage something. You know, the racer inside of you always wants to try and get as good a position as you possibly can, regardless of, you know, what you're going through. So, I on one hand, I can't blame him, but on the other hand, he might piss off a lot of guys here, and I definitely can see the 10 and the 26 already being upset.
Now they're mired back in the pack. I believe McAdams has a solid time to fall back on. Not sure about the 10 car. But still, it's just when you're up there and something like that happens and it puts you farther back in the pack, it's not fun for you because you got a lot of cars to get back through to try and get back up to either where you were or just to a comfortable spot. Especially if they start racing like they were when that first big one happened. We're halfway through this race now. Lots of cars with a lot of little crinkles all over some of their corners of their cars. 39 looks generally clean. Got some right front damage. That's my pick, Arnold Columbia. 61, slight crinkles on the left front. 71 looks generally clean. Andrew Schwartz car, I think he might have just a touch of damage. I cannot exactly tell. Let's take a look from another angle here. Yeah, he's got a little bit of right front damage as well. So, there's way more damaged, slightly damaged cars, I should say, than there are clean cars left in the field. So we'll see how that plays out as they hopefully get another green flag run in and people start shuffling it up and making moves.
So the battle for the transfer spot is going to be P14. So currently we have sitting in the 14th position is Rawson Stafford.
His car's looking pretty clean too, so
Yep. What about Wet's? How does Wet's car look? Pretty clean. Pretty clean.
not that bad. The 44 car of Zach Nichols, I think, is one of the completely clean cars in the field right now.
You know what?
I don't see anything going on. Oh, no, he's got right front damage. It was just hidden because of the paint scheme.
Your pick's looking pretty cute.
He's looking pretty good out there.
Looks like he's got his right side damage fixed. He'll be a
I think as
contender,
long as
that's
Derek
for sure.
Justice can keep it straight, he might be able to win this race with how aggressive he.
Well, as long as he doesn't run out of fuel. I'm not sure about the legitimacy of the information that I was given.
I think we might
I
have been
don't know
getting
the plan
fake.
here.
Got some fake news? Question mark? Nate Stewart's car, I believe, is clean. Let's take a look at the
Is
chase
he
cam,
just
make sure.
trying
Nope,
to
he's got rear end damage.
Just trying to stir the pot.
Not sure.
No. Well,
Tyler
we'll have to
Claybaugh's
find
got a
out.
clean car, and the car behind him, the 81 of Richard Collette, clean also.
Yeah, I can't tell if this is a Bathurst 1000 field, a ARCA field from earlier today, or the FTF dual field here with all these guys who have damage.
Yeah, Bathurst was a little bit rough on us. We ran the last night's race, and it was definitely something.
It's tough seeing.
Yeah, as they say.
As I hand it off here for the green flag.
The pace car pulls in.
Green, green,
Green flag is back out, and we are back underway, racing at Daytona. Nate Stewart leads him down, gets a good jump there, as Derek Justice is going to fall in line behind him. get generally single file up towards the front. David Schildhouse was on the outside lane, but he tucks in as well. Everybody's tucking into the inside. The 48's trying to find a space. That's Andy Margot. Cannot get in front of Alexander Russell, but back behind them, still double file. Stossing it up.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're seeing David Schildhouse getting shuffled back here. He's one of the nicest guys off the tracks, but he's not going to be making any friends tonight. Everyone's going to want to get him around here. This car's got a lot of damage. So these guys with clean cars up here in the back, they're going to have to try and get around him as quick as possible and catch the rest of the field. As if they're going to stay single file up there, they might have a little chance of breaking away here.
Yeah, it might end up looking like the ARCA race was earlier tonight.
They got about a 6-car breakaway here.
We have Bronson Stafford leading a line of clean cars up on the high side as they get around David Schildhouse, Alexander Russell, Jake Poulin, Arnold Columbia, just to name a few. Zach Nichols and Andrew Hardcastle up in front of them. And once they latch onto them, they should be able to close right back up on that lead pack of 5-6 cars. Yep, here they come.
Wonder if Andrew's going to move high. Yes, he does. So it looks like they're going to try and get the second lane formed. Maybe return back to that 2x2 action that we saw. Scratch everything I just said. They all ditch Andrew Hardcastle. Everybody goes down low. And,
tough one for Hardcastle, but he's got plenty of space to fall in behind the 61 here.
I think at this point in the race, it's every man for themselves. Nobody's going to pretty much work with you unless it's a teammate.
Yeah,
not a lot of teammates close to each other.
I usually consider halfway to be the point where a lot of guys start to make their moves. Considering this is only a 40-lap race, only 10 laps after halfway, you're on lap 30 and under 10 to go. I think that's when a lot of people flip the switch, and it's every man for themselves at that point.
Comes Bronson Stafford.
Give an update that the man himself, Ryan Williams, has entered the currently getting through secure.
Ryan A. Williams to be exact.
Showing up just a little bit late.
Oh, here comes the 7 car, goes to the outside. That's Seth Noel. He saw Bronson Stafford and the 10 car of Bailey Jelinas making a run up there, so he said, you know what, I want to be a part of this. And now he's side by side with Claybaugh, who is third on the inside lane.
Yodhouse is about to fall out of about transfer spot here. So good for him.
As we see the high line here, we might have a lead change as Bronson Stafford
he is shoving
pushes.
that 7 car. And there's the lap car of Sean Butler, who's got some pretty solid damage. He was one of the cars that I believe got jumped by the 0-1 car in the Trioval accident. But all the way from Stewart to Schwartz, we have a solid little pack of cars strung out from 1st to about 18th. Riley, it looked like Riley thought about going up high, but he's going to stick down low behind Claybaugh. They may not be exact teammates, but it wouldn't be surprising to see them work together all the way through to the end of this race. Derek Justice keeps the nose on the damaged rear bumper of Nate Stewart, trying to give him a nice shove to keep him out in front.
Going to be interesting here to see with all the lines here. We got some guys a little bit further back. We're going to try and make it somewhat even on both lanes. We saw it be pretty much even right before the big wreck, around halfway, rather. But it's going to be interesting to see if a lot of guys commit to one lane or the other. We know that positions are going to start to get crucial here, and we'll have to see just how the lanes shake out. If some people start preferring one line over the other.
Speaking of lane shaking, Derek Justice jumped up to the outside, and it shuffled the line up a little bit, which put Bronson Stafford up in the 3rd lane. He fell all the way back to that line, or the end of that line, I should say. And now Claybaugh is shoving the damaged rear bumper of the 13 car.
Derek Justice is going to get a huge run off of 4 here. He might be able to take the...
Oh, Tyler Claybaugh hits the apron. Holds on to it. Nate Stewart gets a good little gap. He's going to be a sit and duck, as both lines are going to be catching up to him. Not that I don't think the 42 can do much about it, besides maybe give him a shove. Wouldn't do that in the Trioval, but Derek Justice does take the lead.
Nearly had a flashback to the FTF shootout there with Tyler Claybaugh clipping the apron there. And what happened with Derek. That would have been unfortunate here, as the field size is a little bit smaller, so the car count wouldn't have been nearly as much as it was. Shootout as contact here on the backstretch. Tyler gets shoved down to the apron.
Gonna
Should
force
be able
his
to
way
merge
back up one way or
before the
another. That was him and the 7 car making contact there. What is the 7 car labeled as in the game?
Here's
it's
some
the
anger
88.
from the 26s.
Oh, now he gives him a huge shove going down towards turn 1 as he gets down the funnel. Death Knoll there in the number 7/8800cars.com Chevrolet. Kyle Riley now on the back bumper of the 13 car. He's been Nate Stewart has been the only one to remain in his position this whole time as everybody else behind him shakes it up. And Derek Justice still trying to make a run on the outside. Got help right now from Bailey Jelinas. I'm still not sure, and I can't be corrected, so we're going to go with Jelinas.
Unfortunately here, the top line is not getting quite the help here that the bottom line has. Looks like a lot of these guys are going to fade back here. Going to be interesting to see as we take the 10 to go. Or cross the line to take 10 to go. We're going to see if the lines can even out here and what people are going to try to do. As I said, 10 to go is usually a lot of the point, which a lot of guys say that they're going all in. Nothing holding back, or don't hold anything back here. So
Look who is sneaking his way on up there. It's Arnold Columbia in that 39 car with help from friends Chris Wetz and Andrew Schwartz. So they're making their way through the field, trying to, not get up in the mix exactly yet, because you never know what's going to happen. All these guys are shoving each other up here in the top 6, 7, 8 cars. But they're hanging on, and they're creeping back there.
you want to make
Officially
a quick
taking
correction
10 to
real
go
quick.
now because the race is 41 laps because of the first lap being built.
But now
That's correct. It's my wrong. Or it's... I gotta take a break. My mistake. Ooh,
Oh, Kyle Riley on the apron.
big mess coming out of
Kyle.
here.
Kyle Riley off the pace.
He's falling back. He's going to end up behind Schwartz here. And that shuffle up helped the 39, 71, and 67 creep right up towards the back bumper of Bronson Stafford. So we'll see what they can do. They seem pretty competent, or not competent, but comfortable staying in line together. Just kind of working their way
a very
through.
thick cloud move over Daytona.
It got dark.
I guess you could say that it looks like Kyle went to the back of the field with the push of a button.
Derek Justice, during all of
Back
that,
to
has taken a commanding lead over Nate Stewart now as they are single file for the first 3. The 10 car, though, of Bailey Jelinas decides to go up to the outside lane, and Claybot abandons him. He goes down to the inside. Falls back in line with everybody else. There's a beautiful spec map on that 10 car, and I cannot get over it.
Gotta say here, I'm impressed with a lot of the guys here running in FTF. I don't see any schemes or liveries or anything that I'm really not a fan of. Everyone's showing up with a beautiful race car, despite if you do or don't have any damage. Hopefully
Some
we can get one of
questionable
these.
number fonts. Arnold.
That's true, but let's just see if we can get any of these good-looking cars here in Victory Lane.
Everybody calming down here. Getting ready to make their move whenever they decide that they're going to be making their move. And some people just want to make the big show, and that is going to take them just kind of holding position and hoping that nothing crazy happens around them. I accidentally went to pit lane 2 there. I believe all the way back to, even past McAdams, David Schildhouse right now in that key 14th place position that guarantees that you're in the show. After that, it goes obviously to the top 14 from the next duel, and back on times after that. But Kyle Riley just holding it on the outside lane. McAdams looked like he may have wanted to go up there and help him, but he is making some big moves up there, passing Schwartz, Wetz, and now he's side by side with Columbia. Trying to get a little draft from the 10, who is falling back. But generally, there's a lap car on the apron. I believe that's Jeffrey McClintock.
Starting to see a lot of these guys get selfish. They're not going to start letting guys in We see second lane forming here as Bronson Stafford. No, sorry. Tyler pulls up high from fourth in line, trying to get a little bit of a high lane forming.
He's got the 10. He's got Kyle Riley, Andrew Schwartz, abandoned Chris Wetz. And now he's got to push for Kevin McAdams. We got 5 cars, make it 6 with Nate Stewart
13
jumping high.
making a move
Tyler
for the lead,
says
but
no.
we'll get put into
3
the
wide
sucker
for the
hole.
lead. Oh, that's bad for Nate Stewart. He was holding first, and then he held on to second, and now he's in the sucker hole. The 10 scrapes the wall, but Tyler Claybaugh takes the lead, and he's going to cut down to the bottom to make sure he holds on to it as Derek Justice gets a huge shove, and now he jumps up to the high side. But Zach Nichols ain't going to go with him. He's going to stick with Claybaugh and give him a shove.
The
cloud is back in the tri-oval. Laps winding down here. 5 to go that time by. Oh, Zach Nichols with a little bit of lag. That's not good for Tyler Claybaugh's case. He needs to stay on that back bumper and keep pushing to keep that 42 out front. Because now the outside lane has a good couple cars working together, and the inside lane's all broken apart. Derek Justice trying to take it back here. Looks like he might if he can get the run out of turn 4. There's a good 4 cars. Maybe make it 5. Bronson Stafford can get the run back up on him. Gnarled Columbia, right back there. And what position would that be? I believe that's about 9th place. 9th place for Gnarled Columbia at the moment.
Ninth place.
Justice leads that lap, but it's going to come down to which lane has more cars off of turn 4 at the end, barring any accidents. But at the moment, it's between Claybaugh and Justice as they keep trading the lead back and forth through the corners and down the straightaways. Just trying to, they got their pedals through the floor 100%. And they're just hoping that the guy behind him sticks with them. Not that the 44 really has any option to go anywhere else. He's kind of boxed in. But now the 10 gives a huge shove to Derek Justice. And it looks like they both might clear Claybaugh here. They do. The 10 cuts low early.
10 making
the inside of Justice. Oh my goodness. Money moves from Bailey
the left car to
Jelinas.
30.
There's Adam Codal making an appearance. Here
Everybody
towards
makes
the
it
end.
through clean. Take notes.
Yeah, Ark can't do that. But right now, it's between Jelinas and Justice now, as Claybaugh's going to shove the back bumper of that 10 car. He ain't going to let up. Justice clears. Is he going to move down, though? Yes, he is. Yep. And the 10 started to wash up. Got me a little scared. Not going to lie.
Starting to wonder if some of the guys who are really laying on the leaders here, they're starting to overheat. That's one of the things you got to manage here as your temps push up. You can push these guys as much as you want, as hard as you want, but you got to be mindful on your temps here. And with 2 to go, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these guys pushes the envelope a little too much.
Yeah, I believe you can do about a lap, maybe a lap and a half of solid pushing, not leaving their bumper before you have to start worrying about the engine blowing, which is what we've just reached of the amount of the race to go. So we're going to see people probably just laying into it at this point, especially the 10 car who had clean air until Justice cut down in front of him. So he might just be laying on him. As Kyle Riley's a little bit squirrely, it's not helping the 13 car's case on the high side. Neither is the fact that they only have 3 cars versus the 5 that are on the bottom. But we'll see how it plays out as they come through the tri-oval to take the white flag. Derek Justice in the lead. Let's see how this plays out. Nate Stewart gets a nose up on the quarter panel of 31, but as they go through the corner, Derek is going to be able to get a nice little gap, and we'll see if he decides to cut high or stay low. That's the main decision that he's got to make here. Riley gets a run. He's going to shove the 13 car. Now's the time to decide for Derek, and he doesn't move. The 44 car making it 3 wide for some reason. He's just trying to get everything he can, but that might help Riley and Stewart's case on the high side as they go through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Derek Justice still with a nose in front of Nate Stewart. Coming off turn 4, Kyle Riley gives a solid shove to Nate Stewart, and that's going to do it for him. As long as he can hold on to it, they get squirrely. Nate Stewart's going to win Duel 1 of the FTF iRacing Grand National Series. Oh my God, I didn't think that they were going to have the run, but I think the 44 car going up there and helping their momentum really helped there at the end. I thought Justice had it.
It was a fantastic finish. Shout out to everyone for
Just
keeping it clean
about
here.
wrecked, too. I
Look
know
at them
trying to
deci-
shove damaged rear bumpers gets a little bit sketchy because you could hook them at any moment, but Kyle said, I don't care. I'm pushing this boy, and he gonna win this race. Also, it's top 18 from each duel, so let's see. Final transfer spot from this duel was Gabe Herschel. Love to see that for Gabe Herschel going for the NASCAR Heat Pro League. I think he was 96th after last week in the rankings, but he is in the show for whatever the race is called. I'm not exactly sure what the title of the race is at this moment, but top 18 is as follows. We had Nate Stewart, Derek Justice, Kyle Riley, Bailey Jelinas, Zach Nichols, Tyler Claybaugh, Bronson Stafford, Dylan Alt, Arnold Columbia, Kevin McAdams rounded out the top 10. Andrew Schwartz, Chris Wetz, David Schildhouse, Alexander Russell, Andrew Hardcastle, Jake Poulin, Richard Collette, and like I said, Gabe Herschel round out the top 18. Austin Hawkins, Seth Newell, Hunter Johnson round out the top, 21. I was trying to do the top 20, but those are people that are going to have to fall back on times, along with Andy Margot, Adam Codal, Jeffrey McClintock, Kane Cook, who I'm not sure even had a qualifying time in, as well as Sean Butler, Andrew Burr, Cosme Uneshu, Trey Patton, Dakota DiCienzo, Jarrett Liebert, and Matthew Rodriguez round out the field. A lot of those guys have been out since about halfway through the race. But what a finish. Nice side-by-side drag race to the line. And these guys, they put on a nice show here after a little bit of a mess there about the middle of the race, but yeah, this just gets me excited for Duel 2 because we got these guys in here, Michael Frisch, Brian Mercurio, and Mike Fallon, who will be participating in Duel 2. We'll be getting a couple different people in here for the second duel for commentary. I believe Tyler Claybaugh will be joining us, who was, running up there at the end, ended up P6. And there he is right there. Not sure who else will be joining us. But that was Duel 1, and it was a really good time.
I gotta say, as somebody who was going to be participating in Duel 2, I'm very excited to get that out there and turn some laps. I know I'm not the best at this commentating thing. I had a lot of slip-ups, but I'm just trying to get better at it. I had a ton of fun, and I'll be in the car here for Duel 2, so catch me
We're
out
all a
there.
bit rusty. It's been a hot minute since we did FTF Lights, so
Definitely. Catch me out there in the 41 Jersey Mike's Ford Mustang. Appreciate you
Hell yeah,
bringing me in
Brian.
the booth, Matt.
Oh yeah. Go don't cause a crash.
Try my best.
Hell yeah.
Also, just want to say, love everybody too. Thanks for having me up in the booth. I didn't say much up here. I didn't want to blow everybody's ears out because I didn't know how my mic sounded when I got really loud. But it was fun watching the first one, and I can't wait to be in the second one.
Definitely going to be a cream cracker, as people have.
Surely going to pull those Hans devices.
Make sure you stay safe in the race car, in the virtual race car. Sim racing safety, everybody. Very important. As we got a good little bit until Duel 2 is going to start, so we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back and we'll figure out who else we're going to have in the booth. Maybe we get Arnold Columbia up in here, who was my pick and ended up 9th. So thank you guys for watching Duel 1 rather, and we'll be back in just a moment with Duel 2. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to STN's coverage of the FTF iRacing Grand National Series Duels. It's about time to get Duel 2 underway after the absolute chaos and exciting finish that we had in Duel 1. We're ready to get things underway. We got a little bit different of a setup to get the field in order here, as they only have Philip Kraus and Brandon McKissick on track right now, followed by Jose Salas Jr., Brian Mercurio. Dylan Smith will roll off the grid 5th, Michael Frisch in 6th, Ryan Araki 7th, Dylan Schwallenberg 8th, Matt Kemp 9th, and Ryan Bauer rounds out the top 10 as everybody just makes their way off a pit road. I believe everybody, because they can go whatever speed they want because the pace car's in, everybody be caught up, so they'll be able to go green as we have one extra lap on top of 40 laps, 100 miles, just like the first time. Guys, last time we forgot to make picks, and I was only one that got to make a pick, and I picked Arnold. Who's in the booth now? We have Arnold Columbia and Tyler Claybaugh from Duel 1 in the booth here. And we're ready to just have an exciting day, so we got to make some picks here. I was looking through everybody in warm-up, and I wasn't really sure who to pick, but if I'm being honest, I'm going to have to go with the 15 car of Keith Sherman. To maybe take the victory here. I'm not sure if he's on track yet. He is on track, rolling into turn 1 on the apron. The number 15 Peak Antifreeze Advanced Auto Parts Chevy Camaro. He did some bowling earlier today, actually just a couple hours ago, with the 1 car of Dylan Smith.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, starts 5th. So that's my pick. Keith Sherman's going to be my pick.
All right. I'd have to go with a bit of an underdog here, but it's someone I've known for a long time. I know his I know his skill, and that's going to be Matt Kemp.
Matt Kemp's a good kid.
Pick.
He used to race mini cups back in the day. I'm not sure what he's doing now.
I think he's still
There was some contact with the 30 car as they were catching up. The 30 car ran into, did he run into Sherm? Oh, let me take a look at this real quick. Oh, no, Sherm. He hit somebody. Who'd he hit? Oh, he hit Mike Fallon.
55.
How dare he? Mike Fallon from the booth.
Oh my god, he gave him damage.
I know we got some gamers in this field, and I've been looking through this lineup pretty meticulously as well. And I'm going to take a shot in the dark and guess that the 58, who was in the booth for the last duel, Michael P. Frisch, is my pick to win today's race.
Oh, you would pick Michael Frisch, wouldn't you?
Michael Frisch, the 58 bar visuals Toyota Supra. He's right behind Brian Mercurio. We got a lot of the boys out here that we're close friends with. And well, hopefully we see them working together like we saw Arnold and Andrew and Wetz in the first duel. And then Tyler was with Kyle for a good little bit there. So we'll see how they get lined up here and if they start working together. So we got a recap. We have Michael Frisch as Tyler's pick. We have Matt Kemp as Arnold's pick. And Keith Sherman as my pick as the field tries to bunch up here, rolling off turn 4, getting ready to take the green flag. Philip Kraus gonna lead him down. He's one of the boys. He was part of a team doing the Bathurst 12-hour last night with Brian Mercurio and Jake Poulin as they come to the tri-oval. And the green flag waves, and we're underway for the second of 2 duels here at Daytona. Good jump by Philip Kraus. He gets a good lead.
Philip Kraus. That was a good one.
Look at them accelerate. The cars are moving.
Like at a faster rate than they were.
Yeah, they're going out 160 miles an hour already. Dang.
Brandon McKissick was a little bit slow to get the jump on the start of the race, but he's got help from the 41 Mercurio and the 58 of Frisch. They come down the backstretch 2x2 for the first time.
Field got a little bit spread out there on that start. Some people weren't ready for it. Big gap between Frisch and Schwallenberg up on the high side. There's Arnold's pick, Matt Kemp down there, the 5 car. As they start to bunch up a little bit, the 30 car's roof number is upside down, and we hate to see that. That is the reality that we live in. He's the one who duded Mike, and Mike's got that nice crinkle on the left rear.
Interesting to see how his aerodynamics are affected by that.
We'll see. I'm not sure. There were a lot of damaged cars in the last race, and it kind of shuffled everything up. As Schwallenberg goes to the inside of Frisch and shuffle him out, not sure if Frisch was just trying to fall back. He has a pretty solid lap time, 6th on the board, or 12th on the board, excuse me, in qualifying. Dylan Smith also going to fall back. Mike Fallon.
Also, bit loose. Oh, he's in the grass.
Oh, they're going to try and
Oh
merge
my
back
God.
up. Going to be 4 wide going into
That was
turn
a
number
bit-
3. But they're gonna hold on to it.
there's
Oh my
still 4
goodness.
wide. Oh my goodness.
Fake Chase Elliott almost runs into Mike Fallon. But everybody makes it through.
That was not very well executed on
No,
their
it was
parts.
not.
Not at all. They're gonna lose the draft right here.
Yeah, I don't think that was the best of decisions. I understand the thought process behind it. But, I don't know, Chief.
Yeah,
Just one of the deals.
I don't know, Chief. That was a bit too much. They went into the corner on the apron, and you can't do that.
Yeah, you really can't do that. Talladega got a little bit of banking to lean on, but Daytona is
Daytona, no.
Just
You gotta
super
you gotta
flat.
get back as quickly as possible.
Meanwhile,
Now
out
that
front,
16
the outside line.
Yep, the 16, Dylan Schwallenberg catches up to Brian Mercurio's back bumper, which helps the 36 of Brandon McKissick. He tried to make a run at Philip Kraus, but they're going to lose it a little bit in the corner. But, as does happen every time, they get the run off the corner on the high side, run it down the banking, try and get back up side by side for the lead here.
That's a good run by the
by
high
2.
side. Look at that. Going about even right now.
Who's that in the 3 car? Roger Gregory, followed by my pick, Keith Sherman. Side by side with Arnold's pick.
Look at that.
Tossing it up.
So early on here, things have been pretty calm for the most part. A couple chaotic spots we've seen as cars try to drop to the back and of the sorts. But I think now we're starting to get into a groove. These drivers only got another 35 some laps before we have to determine the
my
winner
goodness.
of this race.
3 car on the 37 made a little bit of door contact. 37 of, let's see, who was that? Joey Israelson was making a big run on the high side with the 18 car, who was not actually the 18 car. Who's
Look
that?
at this. They're forming a third line here in the 37 of Naraki, I believe.
Oh, it's the
that's
018 Graham A. Bolin
That is his
behind the
nose.
37.
I believe he's got the 18 behind him, the
Look at
37.
that. Ooh, very close. Very close to the 16 through that corner.
Oh, Schwallenberg gives a doot to Brian Mercurio, transfers it to Brandon McKissick. They're going to try and push him ahead as these two on the outside lane are making ground all by themselves.
Oh! Very touch and go right now. A lot of close calls. with that
Roger
free ride
Gregory
right
backed
there.
out of that. And Grant Bolin cuts down to the middle lane now. Is going to leave the 37 out to dry.
And
Not that I
Brandon
don't think he'll
McKissick
fall back very far.
takes the lead here.
Gonna
Leads
drop
Brian
low.
Mercurio.
And here comes Brian now with a shove from Schwallenberg. Now he's side by side for the lead. Phil Kraus boxed in now in the 3rd position. Could end up being the 4th position depending on how the high line works out here off the corners. It looks like they're going to get a big run. This might push Brian to the lead. Maybe he'll be able to cut down, but I don't know. As we were saying in Duel 1, I don't know if that's the move. Grant Bullitt trying to make it 3 wide. That's
Oh
not going to
my!
work. Thinks a little bit better of it.
Nearly put his nose in there. Looks like, from what we've seen so far, Schwallenberg is definitely willing to push. So it's going to be interesting to see the low side versus the high side for the next few laps here.
Oh, yeah.
Look at
Oh,
the
actually,
field,
Schwallenberg
3
was out
wide.
of line.
He dips out. I mean, he's got 16th on the qualifying board to fall back on, so I don't think he's super worried about finishing the top 18 here, but I imagine he'll be back up there towards the end of the race. He's going to work with Blake Reynolds there on the high side. Saw them having a faff about the racetrack in practice.
Well, you have to think about it this way. Right now, the lead pack is entirely in. It's 18 cars in the lead pack, then 19th place, because Philip Kraus is in right now, is Jonathan Shipman, and he's lost the draft. He's like 2 seconds off the lead pack.
He is.
They have
He's
to
got a
keep that
nice
in
line
mind.
behind him, but I don't know if that's going to... They can't really catch unless these guys really start going crazy up here. As now Schwallenberg has a push from the 15 of Keith Sherman. Followed by James Milbacher. They have a huge run up on the pack. Sherman going up to the high side. I think he's trying to chill, ride for a bit. He doesn't have the best lap to fall back on, but depending on who races their way in, it could work out
depend on
just
that.
perfect for him. Gonna follow Joey Bailey up on the high side. Mercurio now getting a shove from the 37 car of Joey Israelson. Nice energy drink Ford Mustang. Phillips not letting up off the rear bumper of McKissick here.
No one
And-
is
oh!
in the high side. Ooh.
Brian gets a little loose there from the shove.
Israelson is glued to the bumper, the 41. Brian might fancy a dive low here.
Yep.
Israelson tries to go with, but there's not enough space there.
Nope, that closes McKissick right up to his bumper, boxes him in. Got the 94 car coming up, making his way up towards the top. That's Justin Knobloch.
Now that move there with Mercurio and Israelson is pretty important to note. The Ford Mustangs arguably probably have the cleanest nose to push. So late in the race, you probably want to have one of the Mustangs trying to push it, at least chance to maybe get snagged in front of the field.
Also, transfer spot update. Looks like that second pack caught the first pack. We've got up to 23rd, 21st, excuse me, in the lead pack. He's
got an accident.
Big crash.
Brandon
it's the
McKissick
whole
is
field.
destroyed
McKissick's
and getting
out.
hit from
they're
all
plowing
angles.
in.
Oh, the 16 took some big air. Don't know if that damaged his car or not, but he had big air coming into the middle 1 and 2 in the grass.
A lot of Joey Bailey's rear ends heavily damaged.
Matt Kemp was involved in it. I don't believe he has too much damage, though. Looks like just to be some right rear, maybe a little bit of right front crinkling going on.
Oh, McKissick is done. McKissick's car is heavily
that
damaged.
destroyed that thing. He got pile driven about 5 times.
The 3-car Roger Gregory also really damaged. No front clip left on his car, and his rear end's been knocked in pretty hard as well.
Like Israelson's got front end damage. Blake Reynolds has front end damage. Yeah, Joey Bailey's got a very, very damaged race car.
77
he's
to
looking
Noah
like a
Valerio.
modified out here.
He has his nose punched in as well.
I believe Brian Mercurio is going to maintain the lead here. Philip Kraus stays clean. Justin Knobloch, Graham A. Bolin, all remaining clean. And then behind that, there's either damaged cars or cars that just figured out a way to snake through, like Jose Salas Jr. Like Reynolds, like we said, has a little bit of damage. Schwallenberg's car looks clean, but we're not sure what that suspension's doing right now. It was a little bit of a quirky jump he did. Trying to avoid that. Kemp should be repairable. Sherm, I don't think, got any damage at all. Milbachler might have some rear-end damage. Yeah, a little bit of rear-end damage. Justin Malello's car is clean. And Justin Malello, like we were saying in Duel 1, he's the one who supplied the Mustang chassis to Chris Wetz so that he did not have to suffer in the Impala B car. They love to see that. He makes it through.
Let's see what happened here in this wreck.
Yeah, it's NBC it.
The MBC it. You see McKissick going along here through the tri-oval. I think this is going to start with
he tried to move up a little bit, and the 37 was just right on his quarter panel as he tried to make that move. And it did not work out for him.
See.
Kind of ghosted through him a little bit. But it still ended up affecting the 37 car as he got loose as it was happening. And I think...
Yeah.
Oh, he ghosted through... Oh, man. A lot of cars hit him, but the game did not decide to register that. I don't know if Graham Boland's got damage, but it looked like he just drove underneath him.
Yeah, it looked like Keith Sherman too, drove straight through him almost.
Lots of chaos. Oh yeah, he just went right through him. Probably registered as a contact, but the car is clean. There's Schwallenberg all the way down on the inside from my point of view right now, taking a big jump.
I think a lot of it was not the 36 getting turned like originally, but a lot of it was people spinning afterwards trying to avoid the spinning car, getting caught up in it.
Yeah, Joey Bailey had got clipped, and that sent him down into Matt Kemp, and that's what sent
Matt Kemp
into the outside
hard.
wall.
That might be a lot of damage there. That's
Not
where
sure, not a
Rexford
lot
got his
visually,
damage.
but you never know what's going on the inside. Well, it was slightly earlier than Duel 1 had their big crash, but still, nonetheless, a big one occurs here at Daytona. Right now, Justin Knobloch is in the lead. I don't believe he pit. Maybe he did pit. I'm not sure.
He did pit. Everybody did come down pit road while you guys were on the commercial break. I don't know if these guys took some strategy or not. Maybe so, because the 59's dipping back down pit road, and so is John Poole. But the 94 and 29 Blake Reynolds did hop on down pit road. Now, are you guys surprised this wreck happened as soon as it did, or do you think it was going to happen maybe a little bit sooner?
I don't know. Everybody was still kind of saucing it up, but they were keeping it generally clean. A lot of the people that were trying to make some big moves thought better of it. So I thought maybe we'd make it, I don't know, maybe lap 16 or 17 before it happened, not lap 12, but that's gonna change the mindset of a lot of these guys going forward through the rest of the race.
We have
We'll see what
unfortunate
happens
news
now.
out of the 37 camp as well here real quick. Joey Israelson has retired from the race. Likely his chances of making the big show are done.
Does he have a qualifying time? Did he set a qualifying time down?
I don't believe so. If he did, it was not very high up in the running order.
Yeah, he did not. That looks
Yeah, I
like
don't
his
see
chances
his name on the list at all, actually.
Keep in mind, McKissick, who is definitely probably going to retire after that damage, he does have a very fast qualifying time, so he's going to be fine as far as making the main race.
Yeah, he qualified P4 a couple nights ago when they did qualifying for this race.
I don't know where Joey Bailey is, but I don't think he had a very fast lap. Yeah, he was 42nd or 44th, excuse me. So he's gonna have to get very lucky if he's gonna make it in on time, or else he's just gonna have to race his way in with that car, which
Yeah, he's gonna
will
have to
be
make
a
it
tough
at least
time.
to 18th.
Leszczynski has 32nd on the time. So he is in a better position, but not a great one. Roger Gregory was 22nd. So he's also got a time to fall back on.
Yeah, that's not too bad, considering most of the top, say, 13 guys minus Adam Kodal raced their way in Duel 1.
Yeah. So
It
there's
opens
a lot,
the door for a lot of these guys.
opens the door for the qualifying times to go way down. There's going to be 5 qualifying divisions, so the top 5 that don't make it, and it looks like McKissick is going to be taking up one of those, at least.
Yep.
So, and Adam Kodal probably. So
On the flip side, guys like Justin Knobloch and Blake Reynolds and even James Milbachler are all guys who did not set times and were placed at the end of the running order to start this race, and they're all up at the front there.
yes, they have to qualify their way in through the duel. And might be easier now that there's a couple less cars running around there. I believe we have 31 cars left on the lead lap. McKissick, Israelson, and Roger Gregory are all either out or still in the pit lane getting repairs done. So, bit of a short. We didn't wreck that many cars, so we still have about like 27 good cars here. 28 or 27 good cars here, so still plenty of chances for really a lot of people in the field to make it through.
I'm interested to see how the 29 Blake Reynolds does in this restart. If you look at his nose, it is crumpled up a little bit, so I don't know how well or how bad it's going to affect his aerodynamics.
Did he pit?
I do not believe he pit. If he did pit, it was a short pit like this 94 of No Block as we get ready to head back green here in Daytona.
Hope he knows what he's doing.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. We're back underway for lap 16 of technically 41 here at Daytona. Justin Malello did not get a very good restart on the outside. Might be able to slot in on the inside. Nope, Mike Fallon's going to fill that gap
We're
pretty
hearing
quickly.
a 32 jump start penalty. So that is Mariusz Leszczynski hearing he jumped the start and he's been given a penalty.
Not sure if he gave all the positions back, but he did slow up through turns 1 and 2, so we'll see how the race administrators handle that. Speaking of handling things, the 18 car is passing the 0-2 below the line, and they make contact and go spinning to the inside wall.
They hit the inside wall.
Big contact for both of them. That is Graham Bolin and
Caution,
Ryan
yellow
Araki.
flag.
That's a caution. Caution is out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the thought process was of Graham Bolin there. He had a huge run up on Araki, went to the inside, and ran out of room, so he decided, I'm just going to go below the yellow line.
I really don't know what was going on there, yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of then went up into his door. He decided, you know what, I'm going to get myself up here, and that did not work out for either of them.
Keep in mind, there is no double yellow line rule in iRacing, but there is an FTF, so that would have been an illegal pass if you did it. if he completed
That's one of
it.
them things. That's why if I was Naraki, I would have let him go by, and there's the black flag. Kyle Riley has given Grant Bolin the black flag. Not that I think it matters anymore. I
Yes, he
believe
has
the suspension
slammed
would be
that inside
destroyed
wall.
on that thing, yeah. He's already in the pit road, taking care of that damage. Well, everybody should have been good on gas after that last caution, but they'll definitely be good on fuel now, even if they don't pit.
Yeah,
Currently,
they'll probably
Justin
be fine.
Knobloch maintains the race lead, followed by James Melbachler, Jose Salas Jr., Blake Reynolds, and Keith Sherman, my pick, has made it up into the top 5.
Race control saying the 32 from the restart's going to get an EOLL. So he will not have to serve a drive-through, but he will be at the end of the line on this restart.
He was one of the guys who did not have a very great qualifying time, 32nd to be exact, to fall back on. So
So
he'll
in a
have
way,
to make his way through.
this is a blessing in disguise as 32. Yes, he does get EOLL, but he will not fall a lap down, having to pit under
That
green.
is true. That is very lucky from him.
So, good
Was
luck
a
so
pretty
far
big
for
jump
32.
on the restart from him. Past like 5 cars-ish.
A lot of guys coming down pit road, probably just to get topped off on fuel, just to make sure that they're good to the end. Franklin Ash, who was in the chat for the first race, said that you can get just about 30 laps on gas. See how that plays out. There's only going to be about 20, 21 laps to go on the restart. Franklin Ash, since I spoke about him, he is up into the top 10 now as all those guys pit in the 27 Rowdy Energy Ford Mustang. Let's see, who else is up here? We got Mike Fallon sneaking his way up towards the top 5. I believe he's in the top... No, he's 6th now. After some of those guys cut down pit road. Everybody out here, I guess, is just hoping that these caution laps are enough to... the tank full enough to make it to the end. Especially if we have another caution, they'll be golden.
Yep, definitely. And the pits... looks like... Oh, no, Dylan Smith is going, never mind.
He's just trying to stay in the back, as far as I know from speaking with him before the race. Because he's got... He qualified 10th, so he has a solid lap time to fall back on.
He has a very good chance of making it through that.
He's just got to be here, pretty much. That's all that's required out of him. Looks like Dylan Schwallenberg, I see him on my screen right now. He is currently a lap down. I'm not sure if he will get the lucky dog here or not. I think it would have waved him by already if that was the case. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but the car looks fine. Seems to have been driving fine after that big X Games jump he took through turns 1 and 2 in the first accident. We'll see how that plays out. He might need another yellow to guaranteed. No, wait, maybe? Wait, where'd he go? Car disappeared.
I think it might be a lag situation. He might be lagging across the line.
Could be. I'm not sure how he would have fallen a lap down unless there was some serious damage to fix underneath the car. But he's falling to the back now as he is a lap down. And I believe we've taken the 1 to green. See?
There, the
No.
lights are still on.
Lights are still on.
While
I
we have
guess
a
it
little
might just be
downtime,
sending him back.
while we have a little downtime here, I'd like to give a special shout out to Warren Rosario. Somebody was hoping he could have been here today, but unfortunately had some visa issues trying to leave Canada to get to.
Oh
United
yeah,
States
that's
has
always
been
rough.
here. So sadly he cannot join us today, but I know it would mean a lot for him if he got a chance to hear that.
Yeah, best wishes to him and his family. Dealing
Especially
with
his dog.
especially his dog,
Little Timbo.
Timbits. That's why he's called Timbo.
Yep.
Fun
He
fact.
actually had a Timbit. Just a couple days ago I saw a video.
That was yesterday, actually.
Launching on it.
He stole
That was
it. He
yesterday.
wasn't supposed to have the Timbit, but
Oh, he's
he took
stealing,
it
dude.
anyways.
Give
Yeah,
me
it's
stealing.
Not a complete show of character from him, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? He's just excited. I thought Blake Reynolds was about to cut into the pit lane, but he is just hitting that yeet as we go through the trial
Jose
right now.
Solis is he's doing the Macarena down the front stretch right now.
Jeez, Blake. In the Reynolds-sponsored
Blake.
29
Never mind.
car.
Jose Solis was keeping it straight. Oh, Graham A. Bolin has had his black flags cleared. I believe he's back on the track, but albeit Oh, nope, he's not back out on the track. He's still 2 laps down. Naraki came out of the pits. He's still on the lead lap, but a bit more banged up than he was before, eh?
Yeah, he does have a solid bit of damage. It looks like a little bit of it has been repaired in the pit road. Michael Frisch still sitting in his pit box.
I think that's just
Not
everyone
sure.
topping up, trying to make sure they have enough fuel to the end.
Oh, yep, there he goes.
Because we could have a green-white checkered, and that would throw the fuel calculations off just a bit.
It sure would. But he's rolling off pit road now. Trying to catch up to the field as we'll be going green this time by.
Now, somebody to watch out here for, he's pretty well known around the sim racing community. Chad Michaels in the 25, a very, very good, strong super speedway racer. Every time he comes to Daytona, he's currently 7th. I'd say he's somebody to watch out for here in this restart to make some noise.
Yes, definitely. I remember the last time I saw Chad at a super speedway, he was turning me for the win, so...
There was one
Definitely
week across
always
a
up
couple
there.
NR leagues that he just dominated Daytona. He won every single thing that there was to win. Frustrated me as a driver, but like Tyler said, that just makes him someone to watch here. He's going to restart, was that the 9th position?
Got a clean card, too.
7th position?
Hasn't been
7th
touched.
position.
Looks like he's going to be a factor here. Does he have a qualifying time? I don't believe he does.
Chad Michaels.
I believe he's a late entry.
If it was a
as-
bad one.
Green, green,
Very,
green.
very, very bad qualifying time, so he's going to have to make it through top 18 here. Green flag is back out.
Nice jump out of 94, no block to get some space ahead of Maybach in the 61. He's at Holy Slay Solis Jr. in the 75, getting ready to suck into his back bumper heading into turn 1.
With a 3 wide there, Brian Mercurio up there. Gonna make a big move in the back. That's right around the transfer slot. That's 18th position right there.
54 car of Chris Edwards also has an upside down roof number, which is something that you just hate to see. As he gets passed by Philip Kraus, who's using Brian Mercurio's draft to make it happen. Teammates from the Bathurst 12-hour last night. Their other teammate, Jake Poulin, was in the first duel. Field starts to bunch up as he gets through 3 and 4. Everybody gets the draft. We got Jonathan Shipman making a 3-wide move on John Poole, who just kind of recedes the position. Or, yeah, recedes, something like that. Shipman now behind Franklin Ash.
Ash
Inside lane seems to
sponsored
be the
by...
move. And he moves there, as I say that. That's right on down there. Surprisingly, Joey Bailey in the 51 modified
Yeah.
is
He's
holding
keeping
on
up
for
very
dear
well.
life.
Look at that.
As long as he can finish in the top 18, he is good to go. So we'll see if he can do that. He's holding pace really well. He's still hitting like 195 at the end of the straightaway. Generally, you know, good enough to keep it up there. I don't think he could be pushing people is the main thing. And the guys are lining up on the high side to presumably get around him, including Matt Kemp, who is
pick.
Arnold's pick.
My big pick. Well, interesting situation here. It looks like it's going to be similar to the first duel where it's the top 18 in the front pack, and then we have 19th, one transfer spot here in the second pack. Also, I've been noted that Dylan Schwallenberg is going to be considered on the lead lap for now. So he does count, even though he's being timed as 1 lap down.
Gotcha, and Michael Frisch was pushing him, but now he goes to the outside. He's got Dylan Smith behind him. And we have the 0-3 of Jimmy Guchner and wait, is that the 9 car? Jimmy?
The
Yeah,
6th.
Jimmy's the quote 9 car, but it's registered as 6th in the game. 0-3 is Corey Rexford, 55 Mike Fallon hanging on just barely to that pack of cars, who is just barely hanging on to the front pack of cars.
That's barely. I think there's a bit of a 2-pack system, or a 3-pack system forming here. But it looks like the second pack is basically in touch. Whereas the
Yeah, Joey
third pack
Bailey's
is
starting to
pretty
drop
far
off
back.
now. Once he lost that lead pack. He's got John Poole. Seems to be perfectly happy staying behind him, trying to make stuff happen. But Philip Kraus going 3 wide up in the front pack between him, Keith Sherman, and Matt Kemp. He's making a
Make
little
some
bit of ground.
moves. Doesn't really need to because this pack is in right now, but and he's also
And he's in.
automatically in, so he doesn't really care, I guess. He can get wrecked,
A
doesn't
second
matter.
place qualifying position.
So as you're taking a look at the main pack, John Poole just pulled away from Joey Bailey, and I was going to start to wonder if you're John Poole, how long do you sit behind a car that's clearly wounded like that?
Yes,
yeah, it can't be for
the
long.
second pack is right there on them now. Looks like he's moved past him and abandoned the hope, so Joey Bailey in a very tough spot now.
Yeah, he's gonna need to hope for a crash, as I think, yeah, those cars passing him shuffles him out of the transfer spot.
Those two takes him out.
And I believe this time by it should be Corey Rexford or Michael Pete Frisch who will get into the official transfer spot. We'll see if they come across the line. It will be the 19 of the 50 of Frisch getting into the transfer spot.
No,
Well,
you
since
have to
Phil Kraus
remember
is up
Philip
in
Kraus,
the top of
yeah.
the field, it does go back to the 19th position, which is Corey Rexford. I think, or is that unless Philip wins?
No, that's as long as Philip is in the top 18, it will go down to 19th.
Okay, so yes, it is Corey Rexford who is really the last car hanging on to this.
They're streaking
lead
away
draft.
now. Looks like the rest of the cars got stuck behind Joey Bailey there. Separated that pack.
Yeah, and then being double file from basically third back to about 15th or so, helping this line of cars catch up. John Poole goes to the outside of Brian Mercurio, just trying to keep everybody staggered and ready to react to anything that might happen here in this front pack. Even though they're pretty calm right now. They're all
they're
packed
not
up,
really.
but they're just kind of chilling.
Not really racing for anything as long as the top 19 stay in that front pack.
You're racing for bragging rights.
For a starting position, so it's not for nothing. But for
Yeah,
all
you never know
intents
where the
and
wreck's going to
purposes.
happen. It could be in the big race that the wreck happens from the very first row of cars, but statistically, it's more likely that it's about fifth on back. So if you can finish top 2 in this race, then you'll end up starting, top 6 in the big race, and that gives you a better opportunity to not be involved in any early race shenanigans that might go down.
Oh yeah, definitely. That is a good point. So he has something to race for, but I think a lot of people would just be happy in the field at all.
They just want to be in it. As we've said, this is the first season of FTF running a full-on NASCAR-type series on the iRacing platform. So a lot of these guys just want to be a part of it, and that's what they're doing by just kind of hanging out here, running down some laps. Maybe at the end you make some moves. 9 car, the 6, but the Chase Elliott looking car has some connection issues, and it's not helping Schwallenberg's case. I can tell you that. Who is, like Arnold said, being considered as a lead lap car. Might have had some connection issues himself, lagging across the line or something like that. But not a whole lot going on. All the transfer spots are up here in the draft.
So this is a lot
See what
like
goes
Duel
on.
1, which Arnold and I were taking part of. We're getting about in the same window as well. We're in that duel. Everybody started to get really antsy. Even though they're locked in, it's the same case here in Duel 2, but they got really antsy fighting positions. You guys think they're going to do the same thing here in this duel? Or are they going to try to be smart and ready after watching Duel 1?
Yeah, they'll wait a little bit, but they'll definitely get there maybe around 10 laps to go, which we're closing in on. We're going to be 11 to go this time by, but definitely by 5 to go, you're definitely going to see some cars shuffling around trying to get some position.
I mean, keep in mind, you still have some people locked on the bumper, the person in front of them. I believe that's PJ O'Leary in the 08 was locked onto the 61 of Philip Kraus last time I saw them across the line, so something is still happening.
And you definitely say the same for Jose Salas Jr. He has been glued to the bumper of no block every time down the backstretch. I've seen it as the camera goes by. Makes you wonder if he's going to have any overheating issues with his Ford Mustang.
It's definitely not saving the engine, because that was one of the things we talked about in Duel 1 towards the end, was cars who either, I think it was, can't remember exactly who it was someone Derek came down in front of towards the end there. He had, a perfectly cooled engine ready to shove Derek once Derek cut down in front of him, like all the way to the end. But you want to save it so that you can, got 2 laps to go, you can just stick to their bumper and stay there. But it looks like he's just keeping the bumping and the shoving to the backstretch. So maybe he's got a plan in mind, not sure. He's been doing this for quite a while, so I'd trust his judgment a little bit on that.
Just a
But the 08
qualifying,
car is shoving that 61 all the way around the racetrack.
just a qualifying update, real quick. If Schwallenberg misses it, he has 16th, the 16th fastest time, so he would be in by time. McKissick would be McKissick, Kodal, Schwallenberg, Roger Gregory, and Mike Fallon, I believe, right now. The times would go to. If it ends like this, which
Yep.
it might because of the draft situation.
Well, I believe you're
Yeah, I don't see a
overlooking the
whole
one
lot
of Dylan
happening.
Smith as well. I know he has a very fast time, and he is not in the main
Oh,
pack.
Dylan Smith's not in the main pack. Yeah, you're right. That would knock Fallon out, and that would be Dylan Smith in. Yep, you're right.
They're
And
I'm
Naraki,
not sure
okay,
if they're
well, there's a
exactly
lot-
teammates, but
a
they're
lot could
friends. So,
happen.
oh, we got contact in the front. The 38 gets hit
Oh.
by the 59 and
Oh.
sent into the grass. Holds
He's
on to
gonna-
it.
He's gonna hold on to it, and he's gonna merge.
Oh!
Oh, he saves it, but he's gonna lose the draft now.
Definitely losing the draft. That was
Now
a
that-
wild ride
That's
for the 38
interesting.
car of Shane Therian, who does not have a very good time to fall back on. He qualified
Yes.
40th.
Everyone in the second pack, they just lick their lips because now they see that car. He's lost the draft. He's coming back to them. They can
Dude.
catch him.
I'll say this makes things very interesting. We got a pretty decent group of cars back here. We got Joey Bailey included. They're all about 6 or 7 in a line, and they're going to swallow up the
Yes.
38 in no time
This is
here.
important for Mike Fallon. Mike Fallon is likely going to need to make it in through position.
Yep.
And he is leading this line right now, so we'll see what happens there.
And once they catch that 38 car, they're going to snake right by him, I'd assume. I don't think they'd just give him a huge shove. That'd be kind of bad. So hopefully this helps out Mike Fallon. Schwallenberg, like Arnold said, has a time to fall back on, so I know him and Mike are friends, so maybe he'll be willing to help push him to that. That would put Mike in the 19th and final transfer position. Up towards the front, things are pretty much still at the status quo. The 08 did get shuffled around there in all that mess, so now he's
It's like
fourth
some
in
lap
line on the
cars
high
here,
side.
coming up with some lap cars.
Let's see if they can handle him. I know the ARCA series could not today. We'll see how these FTF Grand National Series drivers handle the lap traffic, as it doesn't seem like they can necessarily. 32 cars holding the bottom decently, but the 30, a little bit all over the place. Maybe he'll clean that up when the leaders get to them. They move up high, or at least they're trying.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna get up there if nothing else. And yeah, it looks like they're holding it pretty well.
But he's gonna
Little
scooch
bit
on by.
loose,
Zero
bit of
eight gets a little
loose moment
wild.
You scraped the wall a bit there.
15 of Sherman jumping down, does not wait behind the 08. I do not blame him. You need every spot to count here in this duel. You don't want to be behind somebody that could cause a possible wreck.
Absolutely.
Andrew Schwartz in the chat brings up a good point that Ryan Araki is also going to need to fall back on a time
Oh, yeah. I
after
missed
his run-in with Grant Bolin, who
Now, if you
Ryan
look-
Araki is about to be put a lap down here.
that. Look at the second pack here. Mike Fallon's about to catch the 36. Oh, he goes low. Oh, he went below the double yellow line. Oh, he can't do that. He has to give that spot back. Oh, Schwallenberg's 3 wide. He's put Joey Bailey in the wall. Oh, my goodness.
Big
Don't pick me
chaos
off in the second
for a
pack
small
here.
pack of cars.
And 55 being told, give the spot back now or you will be black flagged. If you're Mike Fallon this late in the race with no guarantee of a yellow, you do not want to see that.
Yellow
We have a
flag.
yellow flag!
Yellow flag. Oh,
Something
it's
has
a wreck
gone
in the
off
field.
turn 4.
It's a
It involves the
59.
59
It's
car
Jonathan
of
Shipman.
Jonathan Shipman.
And this changes everything.
It really does. What happened?
I think he got in contact with, I think, the 25. Oh,
That's
he
big
got
net
turned by
code.
the 91, I think.
I don't know. No car touched him. The car just immediately broke sideways. And that's something people have been talking about recently with iRacing,
the
is
ghost
something
there,
has been
yeah.
going on with the netcode, and that is a perfect example
Oh
right
my god,
there.
yeah, that was...
Not a single car within even a foot of him, and it just kicks him 90
Oh my
degrees to the
God.
left.
Yeah, that is...
That's incredibly unfortunate for the 59 Shipman, who has ran, honestly, a great race, and I don't know if he has the time to
Yeah.
fall back on or not, because
Doesn't.
I don't have the sheets in front of me.
Does not, yeah.
He's the last
It's
car
really
listed on here.
Very unlucky, it looks like. M.
we
Cross himself came down to take that position from him. Oh my gosh.
That's just a really tough scene for Shipman, and it's not surprising, like you guys have said. We've seen it here recently in iRacing, and even some of the dual practices earlier, this evening for this race. I know it's between me and Cosman, where our cars got together, how to reckon the tri-avoid to go bring out the backup car. Really unfortunate for the 59. Ran a great race.
Yes. So just as the transfer spot situation was getting spicy, it's going to get spicier.
Oh yeah, we'll see how it shakes out after the cycle of pit stops. I believe some people might come in. I don't think a lot of people got any damage from that besides Shipman himself.
Like just the 59 got major damage. I don't think anyone else is pitting at this point.
I would not either.
Yeah, if we're thinking it's going to get spicy, guys, I say it's going to be Louisiana hot sauce spicy is what we're looking at here.
I love Louisiana hot sauce. If it's not Louisiana hot sauce, it goes on the floor.
Anytime you're at a restaurant, folks, and it's not Louisiana hot sauce, you better put it under the table.
Oh,
we don't
absolutely.
need that at the dinner table. If it's even Frank's Red Hot Tabasco, get it out of here.
So
Joel
update.
Schwalberg has been waved around the pace car to be put back on the lead lap where he was told to act like he was at anyway. I'm not sure if it was a scoring discrepancy or some sort of lag across the line thing, but doesn't matter anymore. He's back on the lead lap, and he has, like we've said, a solid time to fall back on. So, not a huge worry for Schwalbenberg. Now he's just got to get through to the end of the race and see where he ends up.
I'd just like to give a call to Roger Gregory. Came back out after being destroyed in that first crash. He's 14 laps down. He's still logging laps out here, hoping he can make a chance, he can get a chance at making the field. Gotta respect that energy.
Yeah, I'm not
Even
sure
if
how exactly he'd make it because there's only
I don't think he could if
Yeah,
there
there's
were,
like
unless
4
there
to
were
go,
a
coming to
lot of
3
green
this
white
time by.
checkers and a lot of retirements.
Looks like we might get a green white checkered here, folks.
Quick update, guys. The number 30 of Michael Kuczynski gets the lucky dog.
Yeah, so that'll put him back up.
Yes.
We have an
into the fight.
update from Kyle Riley as well. Just heard some chatter from the
race director.
Yeah, the race director and the stewards. Unlimited green white checkered, so we have a lot of time to get this race done.
The 3
Oh my.
does have a chance. Unlimited green white checkered, so that's a lot of laps. I'm rooting for him. I think he can do it. If nothing
Yeah, we'll
else,
see.
I'm glad he's trying.
I mean, Gregory's got a 22nd place qualifying time to fall back on. Should that, miracle not play itself
It
out.
is a solid chance. But he doesn't want to take a qualifying spot if he doesn't need it, and it might be close because McKissick, Dylan Smith, Naraki, Schwallenberg are all out right now, so it'd be very close. Because Adam.
Note, Ryan Bauer, who qualified 20th, who started one spot ahead, should have started one spot ahead of him in this race, is not in the server.
Show up. True.
So that takes his name out of the equation. So that leaves McKissick, Salas Jr., Mercurio, Smith, Frisch, Naraki, Schwallenberg, and Kemp ahead of him. And all of those guys have been saucing it up in the front of the field. So if they can all race their way in, it could be looking good for Roger Gregory just for sticking around.
Just for sticking around, yep.
Oh,
there's
crash.
Crash under caution. 21's spinning.
Roy Rexford, I think, got into him, but I'm not sure. Was that more netcode? Well, he was running up towards him at a high rate of speed for no reason, but there was definitely a little bit of netcode there.
And that gave him some damage. It looks like Rexford's gonna park the car. Rexford just parked the car. Just towed.
So I don't know about you guys, but I'm watching the 29 Blake Reynolds here under yellow. He is swerving this car violently. If I'm the FTF officials, I'd be taking a look at that car after the race because he may be trying to cover up something. I don't know. It's a little
He
fishy
could be
to be
trying
doing.
to finagle a spring out of place. The jet fuel.
The
get
sway
into
bars
the secret
around,
containment.
just
yeah.
work that car. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He just took the bus stop as well. Maybe trying to do something funky. I don't know. Just Mike's thought as a driver here watching him do this.
Yep. Corey Rexford has towed his car. We'll see. That might be one contender out of the race here. He was running into the transfer positions before that incident with John Poole happened. So
We're going to overtime here as well, folks, officially.
overtime.
What's going to be interesting is that Solis Jr., who was locked to the rear bumper of Justin Knobloch in the 94 for, I mean, almost the entirety of that last run, will now be starting side by side with him. He's got Chad Mikos, who we mentioned earlier, right behind him. My pick, Keith Sherman, right behind him. And on the inside lane, we have the 61 of James Milbachler, followed by Blake Reynolds, who we were just speaking about just a second ago. We'll see how this plays out. It might get spicy.
The last transfer spot is held by Corey Spencer right now, 19th. That's where it will all kick off.
Great news for the 38 as well. He is back in the main pack. Good chance for him to maybe have a chance to... I think he's actually in the transfer spot right now, if I'm looking correctly.
Actually, Philip Kraus has fallen out of the top 19, so it goes to the top 18 now.
Philip Kraus, oh, he has.
I think he just elected to fall back for this last restart. He knows it's going to get a little bit wacky, a little bit wild, as everybody tries to back up as the pace car pulls off. And we get ready, go back green, and we are back going at Daytona for 2 laps of green, white checkered action. Great start by Justin Knobloch. He's got Milbachler already on his back bumper, and Maiko's already on the back bumper of Jose Solis Jr., but he's going to cut low. He cuts low and leaves him out to dry. There's a lot of slicing and dicing going on back in the pack, too.
Just passed Schwallenberg for the transfer spot, but Schwallenberg's coming back low.
They're going to be fighting it out back there. They're going to be fighting it out back up towards the front. Sherman gets to the back bumper of Solis Jr., gives him a shove. The outside lane's sort of forming up now, but it's going to take somebody from higher up in the field to cut up there to make that shit happen. Oh, and the 19
we got a problem!
The big one strikes in turn 4 at Daytona.
A lot of cars. Oh, the 38.
Oh, go low.
Oh, 2. Oh, the 38 up and over.
Rolling. Barrel rolling. That's a lot of... He's done. I hope he's okay. I hope he's alive. Oh my god.
Brian Mercurio. Oh, the 91 of Phil Kraus as well. And you thought if Philip Kraus was backing up to not being a wreck, he now gets damaged to his primary car. I thought it was a really smart move to get away from the main pack, but holy cow.
It happened a bit far back. It happened around the 12th position. Was that
wreck? What did Philip get damage?
He has damage on the nose. I don't know if that happened from that wreck or if it happened at some other point, but his nose looks a little crinkled, at least on my end, on my screen, from what I can tell.
Oh yeah, he does have a crinkle. I'm not sure where that came from.
It might have been from that wreck.
Because he stopped for that one. He parked it in turn 4 on the apron.
Well, once again, this changes everything.
Oh, Brian Mercurio's engine is gone.
Michael Frisch has a lot of damage. I don't know if he's going to be okay.
The one, Dylan Smith, a lot of damage, heavy damage on the front end. Dylan Schwallenberg has damage.
Dylan Schwallenberg was caught in the middle of that, yeah.
That's a lot of the guys that had the good qualifying times that are involved in that one. A lot of good
qualifying times, yep.
Mercurio, Smith, Frisch, Naraki was already back there. Schwallenberg, I'm not sure if Matt Kemp was involved. Doesn't look like it.
I believe Matt Kemp made it through, actually.
So Matt Kemp and Jose Solis Jr. are the 2 out of the top 10 qualifying times in this duel, at least. Top 20 overall that remain, able to compete in this next green, white, checkered attempt.
Oh my goodness, look at that. I looked like Josh Lawson cutting across the front end of the 58 of Michael Frisch. Looked like what's caused that.
I'm not sure. I believe he was almost cleared, so I believe he could have just thought he had the space to come down. But he just did not. And it caused a big accident. Brian Mercurio with a gigantic head-on collision. Lawson went flipping before the 38 started his barrel rolls. But Naraki was involved in that one as well, so that probably just about finishes off that 0-2 car.
Yeah, Matt Kemp got a bit of front-end damage. Oh my goodness, the 0-2 took a knock. It was squeezed to the outside. Trouble in the corner. 27
was not involved. Was the 59 of Jonathan Shipman. He now runs 22nd as they went by last time. We'll see how it cycles out. That might work out pretty well for him after his misfortunes with the netcode off of turn 4 earlier.
Yeah, look at that, anything can happen. You could be
Speaking of anything, Joey Bailey is in 15th right now.
He did get damage at that wreck, though. He did hit the 19 of Josh Lawson. Just
what's it going to do at this point?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he doesn't really have a front end.
My goodness.
If you guys would like my opinion here, I think this race is kind of wide open for the transfer spot, because if you're looking here, there's a lot of damaged cars left now.
As long as you've got a race car, you've got a chance.
If you're the 59 Jonathan Shipman, nothing's really over yet. The nose isn't too crumpled up on the car. A lot of it's just some rear end damage.
Compared to Shane Theron in the 38, he's still running actually after barrel rolling multiple times. He's on the lead lap.
Doesn't
Look
have
at
a
that.
hood. Or he does
Doesn't
have a
have-
hood. I just couldn't see it from the camera angle
Doesn't
I was
have a
at, but
front
he's
end,
also a
but-
modified.
It's wide open. It could be anyone with a running car right now. I wouldn't count the 3 out.
And you know what they say, guys? Cautions breed cautions. This is super speedway racing. Anything can happen before they get back to the white flag. For that point of no return.
Especially now that we've got all these damaged cars running up here, intermingling among undamaged cars, less damaged cars. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, guys, Jonathan Shipman's in now. Actually,
He's
in the
in?
last or wait, no, it goes to 19th because Philip is 16th. So the 59 and 38, as they
The
run
38
right now,
after barrel rolling
yeah,
down.
they're in. They're
He's
in the
in.
race.
Update as well, the 30 on the last yellow, the 30 got the lucky dog, Kuczynski. He now as well is in one of those transfer spots after being a lap down for a long time earlier in the race.
Never know what's going to happen.
Really
Never
don't.
know what's gonna
That
happen.
shook up literally everything.
Update to the times. Michael Frisch, he's definitely out. He was in 6th. Brian Mercurio also definitely out. He was the 4th best time in this duel. McKissick already out.
Yeah, it's really just Solace and Matt Kemp that are probably not going to have to fall back on times here. Out
Right
of
now, I
the
believe
top
it's
10
McKissick.
starters.
Brian, is Dylan Smith in right now?
Dylan Smith is
Smith
not
is-
in. He got heavy damage in that accident.
So it's going to be McKissick, Brian Mercurio, Dylan Smith, Michael Frisch, and Ryan Naraki.
Brian Naraki is in the transfer spot right now. He's currently 15th, so
Is
he's
he?
safe.
That's crazy. He's
Yeah,
safe.
that's insane.
So that goes down to Schwallenberg, is he? I don't think
Wallenberg
he is.
also
Wallenberg's
is
in
in. He's
13th.
currently 13th.
What? Okay.
Yeah, everything's shaken up. Not steady.
Roger Gregory in the 3 car. Or no, that would go to Adam, never mind, from the first duel. That would go to Adam Kodal.
Alright, so it's gonna
Anything
take a
can
miracle
happen
for
still.
the 3.
Anything can happen still.
Oh yeah, it's 5 total cars, right?
All he needs is Dylan Smith or maybe... Yeah, he just needs Dylan Smith to get back into the transfer spot. He's got a car that runs, so it's possible.
And we're looking at, I think
After
the
that,
one,
I'm really not sure what to expect.
the one
it's
is
wide
back
open.
on track. By the way, on the lead lap, last car, I think on the lead lap, I think Lazinski will take that there in 22nd
Yep.
as well. We got the lights are off the pace car. Everybody's doubling up here. We're gonna get another restart. Let's see if it's gonna be as chaotic as the last one.
In the transfer spot right now, Shane Theron, he needs to keep his car, what's left of it, in that spot. He's got to defend from Craig Hawkins in the 52, doesn't have a hood. Dylan Smith doesn't have a front clip in the 54. Oh no, he's a lap down. And the 32, who was the lucky dog, who's going to be starting at the back, but has a pretty clean car. Who knows? It's not pretty clean, but it is a car.
This has been quite a race, guys. And I'm sad it's gonna be in here maybe soon, but it's been a fun one to watch.
Definitely, I've had a good time.
Oh,
I don't know about you guys at home. I don't know if Tim, Warren Rosario's dog, is having a good time.
Yeah,
I
hopefully
bet
it's
Timmy's having a
been
great time.
always enjoying this race like we have been here.
Oh, give a shout out to Andrew Schwartz, who figured out the times before I did. Yeah, he's just better
Because
than me
it's
in
only
every
5
way.
cars that make it on times overall, right?
It is 5 overall, correct.
Oh my goodness. Adam Kodal, after being involved in that big accident in Duel 1 and getting a 19th place qualifying position, he's hoping for the best here for a lot of these guys to
Green,
just
green,
make it in.
green.
Green flag is back out. Justin
Flag is
Knobloch
out.
leads them to the line. The 61 got a great restart, but Blake Reynolds isn't on his bumper to help. Chad Michaels, on the other hand, did get a good restart on the back bumper of the 94
Oh, the
car,
38's
already
heavily
shoving him
damaged. He's
forward.
not going to be contending for the spot. Felt way
You gotta
bad.
watch out for a lot of those
He's going to
damaged
be between
cars.
the 52 and the 59 right now. That's the 2 going for the... Or no, it's 19. I think Dylan Smith is in the transfer spot right now. Or it's going to be between Dylan Smith and the 59, Jonathan Shipman. Who knows?
Down
we
the
really
backstretch.
don't know. But Joey Bailey is holding on currently. If he could just slot in behind Mike back here.
Holding on well.
He's got the 30 behind him, so maybe he can make it happen. Back up towards the front. It looks like they're actually going to make it to the
They're gonna
white
keep
flag
it green
this time.
Now, if you're watching, guys, watch out. Chad Michaels has a hole to jump up in front of the 61. Not anymore. The 61's going to close the door. White flag here in Daytona for the Duel 2 and FTF.
White flag. Dylan Smith is closing in on the transfer position. Very quickly. This is Jonathan Shipman fighting for his life. Dylan Smith's going to the outside, and he passes him. Or no, that's not for the transfer spot. I'm sorry. Leszczynski's in the transfer spot right now. Oh my god, I don't know what's going on.
Meanwhile, up front, the 61 gets a good run off of turn number 2. Tries to get up side by side with the 94 car, but Blake Reynolds just does not have the car behind him to give him the shove that he needs to make a move for this. At the same time, Chad Michaels looks like he might be able to clear the 61 before we come off turn number 4. Is he going to do anything with it? He's trying to go high. He's got the run up on the outside of the 94 car. But
problems!
At the line.
They wreck!
Big crash at the line. Justin Knobloch is going to win the race. Oh my goodness. Oh, cars are piling.
Oh my goodness.
Holy shit.
Matt Kemp went roof first into one of the inside retaining walls. Hopefully he's okay.
Joey Bailey finishes 14th and makes it into the race after driving a modified for a majority of this race.
Last transfer spot was Leszczynski in 19th.
Yep, Philip Kraus finished 11th, so that does move it to 19th. Leszczynski.
He didn't have a time. He had to do that.
And he made it.
Oh my goodness.
Dylan Smith had a time to fall back on. Jonathan Shipman did not, and therefore will miss the race after that emotional roller coaster down in the final, like 10 or so laps there.
That was insane.
Wow.
It looks like it's going to stay the
wow.
same. McKissick's going to make qualifying time. Mercurio, Dylan Smith, Michael Frisch, and Adam Kodel's going to get the last spot, I believe, from qualifying.
I think so, because Dylan Schwallenberg did race his way in.
Dylan Smith
Kemp
did not.
Hopefully Matt Kemp
his way in.
Hopefully, yeah, on Matt Kemp, hopefully he's okay. He took a hard hit into the inside retaining wall. He was still sitting down there by the entrance to turn 1 on the road course.
If he's injured, his car is in the race.
Based on what we have here, Adam Kodal did make the race.
We believe, yes.
We'll wait for confirmation as they'll start updating the qualifying order, like who made it or not, in the Google Doc right now. But out of this race, Justin Knobloch, like we said, came home with the win. PJ O'Leary gets second. Chad Michaels, Blake Reynolds, and James Milbachler round out the top 5. Justin Malello, Jose Salas Jr., Noah Valerio, who we did not speak much on today, sneaks home with an 8th place finish. Keith Weiss Sherman gets 9th. John Poole, the 3rd, rounds out the top 10. And then we had Philip Kraus, Mike Fallon, Matt Kemp, Joey Bailey, and Michael Kuczynski rounding out the top 15. Dylan Schwallenberg, Ryan Araki, Craig Hawkins, who we also did not speak much on, comes home in a transfer spot. And like we said, Leszczynski gets that last one and will make the race. Wow.
Wow. That's all I can say after that. Wow.
Man, oh my goodness. You guys go back and watch the 5 of Matt Kemp took air off of Valero's car and then launched off the 61 as well.
Yeah, he went flying into Jose Salas Jr. It was Mike Fallon eats absolute shit on the inside wall after the fact there.
Oh, hopefully Mike Fallon.
Kyle Busch
hard hit.
Oh my goodness.
That was tough. That's tough to see. Hopefully he had his sim racing safety devices on. We were talking about that before he left the booth.
Yeah.
He was rushing. He was zipping that suit up like running, boy. Like,
I hope he took his hands
late.
off the steering wheel. That might be a wrist break there.
Oh yeah, that was a tough hit. But
gosh,
what a race. Not
a
drag race to the line like we saw in race 1, but absolute chaos as they came to the start finish line for that one.
I'd just like to say I'm glad I wasn't in the crazy duel.
Yeah, honestly, I think both of us here happy we were not, and what an insane duel this race was. Like,
better to watch than to be a part of.
Wow.
Highly entertaining though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're updating the doc as we speak.
That's crazy. The top 9 of fastest people in the first duel made it in. I don't think 3 of the top 9 in the last duel made it in the second duel.
Just Jose Salas Jr. and Matt Kemp. Actually, Schwallenberg did make it.
Schwallenberg did, yeah.
The 3.
And Philip Kraus. That's crazy.
Philip Kraus is a given. Yes, he was in no matter what. And him finishing up as high as he did saved the 32 car of Leszczynski from going home in this event. As we get a live look at the Google Doc for you.
Yeah,
Oh.
there it is. I beat you.
I was a little bit late on that link. I'm not gonna lie. Manuel Hartnett, name was just highlighted. He did not show up tonight. Tough scene for him. Him and Ryan Bauer were the ones that had any sort of chance to use their times that did not show up tonight. But confirmation that the 36, the 41, the 1, and the 58, and the 33 have made it in on their qualifying times. Everybody else is going to go home, and that includes Osman Yuneshu.
Really?
Long-time FTF driver. He won the championship, didn't he?
Something like that.
Or did he come close? He was in the Final Four last season. I can tell you that much.
That's crazy. Unfortunate, Roger Gregory, our friend who was running around 14 laps down, just barely misses the time cutoff. The first person who misses it because of the time cutoff. That's
Stuck it out, though.
very unfortunate.
Respect.
Big respect, big respect.
Franklin Ash, one of the guys we were talking about, he was in the chat earlier, is going to end up going home.
He was in that big wreck in turn 3 and 4. Unfortunate, very unfortunate.
There's some crazy scenes here.
Want to give a quick update as well. Matt Kemp has been released from the infield care center okay after his scary wreck,
Thank
as
God.
well as Mike Fallon both. Good to hear that they're okay and they can make the main race.
Very glad they're okay. Hate seeing that stuff in racing, but it does
but it's
happen
just
every
part
once
of
in
it,
a while.
especially here at Daytona.
Especially here
I mean, they
at
have some big
Daytona.
crashes at Talladega, but the big hits, fans, Eric McClure's wreck a couple years ago in Xfinity, they happen at Daytona.
And we're just getting into the meat of Speed Weeks as well. Tomorrow night, be sure to tune in for the FTF Cup Series dual races. Do not know who they'll be presented by, but those will be on. And then next weekend we will have the FTF Grand National Series big race, I believe at 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Sunday night, the Daytona 500 brought to you by the Indianapolis 500 for the FTF Cup Series will also be happening, I believe, at 9 p.m. Eastern Time as well. Don't know if we have too much more left here to say other than, wow, what an event we were part of. At least for Tyler Clayball, I will be signing off. Thank you all for tuning in.
Wait, we actually have an interview.
Oh, we
up.
do.
Got an interview lined up with Adam Kodal.
Adam Kodal, last guy to make it in on time. He was nervous. I bet he was fucking shaking watching that last duel play out.
Let me just find him in the stands here. Give me a second.
Hunting him down. Probably eating a bag of Skittles right now. Maybe some buttered weenies. There's some signature Adam Kodal moves on food. But as everything winds down here, before we get the interview in, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in for this. I'm not sure my status on being up in the booth, as I don't know if I'll be participating in the series, as I've got a lot going on. But it's been fun. We have Keith Sherman has joined us up in the booth.
I couldn't find Adam Kodal, but I could find Keith Sherman.
Sherman, you had a wild night.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Congratulations on making the race, first of all.
Yeah, thank you. It was wild. I don't really think I had to avoid a couple of wrecks. I was near a few.
Yeah.
Saw a couple of my mirrors. Saw some guy go head onto the wall. That didn't look like it felt too good.
Oh yeah.
But all in all, put ourselves in a good position. Would have liked to go out there and win the thing. Can't always shake out like that. Sometimes you got to take the cards you're given.
Yeah.
Get them dealt out on the table right there, and you play your hand, and we're in the show.
What was your strategy? Were you trying to stay up there, or were you trying to maybe avoid the wrecks? What was your mindset going in?
Well, I kind of wanted to get up there and race. I want to get a feel for the car so I know what to expect for the show, but I also didn't want to get taken out too early. So I got up there a little bit,
Right.
Raced a little early on. As soon as I saw them start to get a little wild, a little crazy, backed it off, dropped back, and it actually paid off a couple times. I saw a little bit of smoke, saw a puff of smoke, jammed on the brakes, and then they just started scattering everywhere.
You had a pretty clean car, at the end of it?
Yeah, and we even avoided the last wreck, so we don't even have to go to a backup car. We're looking good in the peak Motor Royal Chevrolet Camaro.
All right, thank you. Get out of the booth.
All right.
Yeah, go take a shower.
You were my
smell, dude.
pick, by the way.
Now we got Adam Kodal. Hold on, let me get him.
He has shown up in the side booth. He needs to get in the right room.
Yeah, I'll call him. He's not the best with hearing.
Here-
There
oh,
he is,
here
Adam
is.
Kodal. How are you feeling right now after watching that duel?
Oh no. I was watching that thing just my nails are gone. Watching that whole thing.
I can
no,
imagine.
I bit them all off. No, no.
Adam, you just barely managed to edge out the 3 of Roger Gregory for that last provisional spot speed time. How are you feeling right now after that race?
I love it. I mean, my duel, for the first time in 3 years, I was actually having fun. I was racing with everybody that I love, that I actually love racing with. And I don't know.
Calamity struck,
I
and
can't
you
even
were just
talk
there
right
for
now.
it.
He's got a lot of emotions right now. A lot of emotions. I can't imagine.
I love it. I was really nervous watching that whole race. I'm like, okay, there's only 4 of the 9. There's at least 4 of the 9 people that had to get in, and I couldn't even watch it anymore. I had to go to another room and just sit around and just do nothing. I would rather do nothing than watch my fate happen.
Yeah.
There.
After that second big one that involved Brian, Dylan, Frisch,
Yeah,
Naraki got involved in that one
looking very
too
good.
after his
Naraki
spat
and
with Graham
Schwallenberg were
Bolin.
involved, and they
Yeah,
would've-
that's the
if
one that
just
got
one
me
of them
nervous. Was that
retired-
second big one that happened?
Yeah, that would have taken you out, but it worked out in the end.
It worked out in the end. I mean, I did good in my first duel, or in the duel, but just I
just end
guess
up
I was
being
wrong
there.
place, wrong time. There was a wrong bump on the outside line coming into the trial oval, and I got clipped into it. I was okay for a little while, and then I realized my back bumper it was completely crunched up. So I was able to hold on to the draft, but if nobody was behind me, I was done for. And then at the end of the race, I finished 2 laps down because the lead pack ended up passing me again. Well, I was just hoping for a caution, but of course it didn't happen. So at the end of my duel, it was very bleak. I wasn't very optimistic, but I was still hoping. And I guess that little bit of hope paid off, and I'm still here. I'll be racing next weekend.
Hell yeah. The general cleanliness of Duel 1, sans, the one crash that you got involved in, definitely helped out a little bit with the entire top 9 starting positions in that duel, making it, only having to fall back on Michael Frisch, Michael Frisch had to fall back on a time, who has joined us also back up in the booth. Dylan Smith, Brian Mercurio, Brandon McKissick, once again, were the other ones to have fall back on times. But, damn,
crazy.
We were
this
not
couldn't
sure.
have gone any any different way.
Oh, they gave me a headset, but I've been just sitting here not trying to interrupt. But yeah, interview time for me.
Yeah, we see Michael Frisch. We just saw the wreck that you were involved in on the broadcast. Really, really tore that bar visuals Toyota Supra up, which we hate to see for Dalen. So
Yeah, I did my best. Try to make the best out of it. Right there. Didn't know what kind of the 19 thought process was, but kind of just let him go with what he was gonna go with. But overall, we had a fun race. It was fun, just riding it back and watching everybody else wreck. That's the best thing.
Yeah. We have a shot of your car being clean there on the screen. I think this is leading up to the accident.
Yeah, back
No, this isn't leading
before.
up to the accident.
Way back when.
It was
The
it
good
was
times.
fun. It was fun just racing around people that I haven't really raced around with. Learning how they race. Got a lot of forward to look forward to. I can't talk right now. I've been up for too long. Bathurst is killing me.
Hopped out on a plane from Bathurst to Daytona.
Yeah, dude, we're out
And
here.
he landed right there on the backstretch at the tiny little Daytona Beach airport.
Yeah, the Nixon airport.
But we didn't bring the Dalen Bar photography home in one piece. Came home in a couple, but it's all right. We'll head over to the 500 next week and give it another shot, and hopefully luck is on our side.
And it's going to be a long one. And based on these, it's going to be kind of chaotic. So We'll see how it all plays out. I'm not sure, Zach, if you can give confirmation if it's going to be on STN or what the deal is for that race. But STN, like he said in the chat earlier, there's going to be other races that will be broadcast here. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and pay attention to some updates to see when you can catch some FTF iRacing Grand National Series action here. We also have PJ O'Leary, who finished second in this duel, that would like to get an interview. I can't move him in. Tyler's going to go grab him real quick. The 08 Hellman's Mayonnaise Chevy Camaro.
Yeah, let him know. I believe he's talking to his media. Here is PJ O'Leary.
PJ,
What's
what are your
up?
thoughts coming to the line there as everybody just kind of wadded him up behind Knobloch?
Really, I don't know. I mean, I was just trying to hold on as best I can and try to. I don't know. I'm not very. I'm still reliving what just happened. To be honest with you.
Yeah, there's a lot of high heart rate coming to the line, and then they all wreck. So I can only imagine it's just one of them deals.
Yeah, I just got out of the car too. I was just trying to do my best to hold on and try to finish where I was at, because I knew the rules were top 18, 19th if the pole sitter for that particular race was in the top 18 could advance, and I knew I was sitting pretty in like 4th or 5th, maybe 3rd, and I was like, all right, if I can just stay here, I'll advance through the race, and or advance to the big race, and sure enough, even though we were all crashing like crazy coming to the line, we were able to get P2, and we're going to the big show. So, can't wait.
Oh yeah, that Hellman's Mayonnaise Chevy Camaro into the first ever official race, the FTF iRacing Grand National Series.
I'd love to see it a lot as well. As you had no qualifying time coming into that race, to be able to run as strong as you did, it's probably good news for the actual race. You know that you can run with the big dogs when it comes to the main event.
Yeah, although it's a little frightening for me, to be honest, because this is my very first race ever in this league. I mean, I literally just signed up today.
Yeah.
I mean, I joined I think I joined the league last night, and then I signed up today for this particular race, because they're like, you can join the duels, and me and my teammates all signed up. Unfortunately, one didn't make it, but my other teammates in, so it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, hopefully, like you said, we can run with the big dogs, and hopefully we can run well. And I'm running a Dale Jr. paint job, and he's well known for running well at the Daytona and Talladega, so we'll see what we can do.
Second all-time on the average finish list, only behind his father, who has like 6 positions up on him with like a 9 point something. Someone was putting it on Twitter the other day. That blew my mind, but yeah, it was.
Them Earnhardts are really good at the play tracks for sure. Yeah, it was.
It's Duel 1, they had, their big crash. They got it out of the way. Everyone kind of calmed down. But this one, we got 2 green-white checkered attempts. See that crash that was coming to the line on the broadcast. Ooh, big hit. Jose Salas Jr. there. And everyone just comes piling in afterwards, but
Yeah,
solid
okay
second
as
place
well.
finish.
Got hit hard by Joey Bailey after the wreck too. Holy cow!
But that was something.
It was crazy, that's for sure.
Well, thank you for joining us up here. Look forward to seeing what comes out of you next Saturday for the official race. And good luck out there.
All right, guys. See you then. Thank you, and it should be interesting next Saturday night. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Not sure if we have anybody else on the docket for an interview. But I would like to thank everybody once again for joining STN's broadcast of FTF iRacing Duels. For the first time ever, FTF goes over. Well, FTF's had a little bit of an iRacing foray before, but for an official thing, this was the first try at it, and I think it was pretty exciting. So, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for everybody that has joined me in the booth here today, and we'll see you next time.